The woman thought she knew exactly what the Bulldog was doing. She was a vet tech with 6 years of experience. She was completely, utterly wrong, and it almost changed everything. It looked like aggression. That is the first thing anyone said who saw the footage. The Bulldog, 3 years old, English, 48 pounds, named Theo, was pushing between the woman and the toddler every time she bent toward the child. Not growling, not posturing, not showing teeth, just inserting himself, widening his stance, making himself a physical obstacle between the adult reaching down and the 2-year-old girl standing behind him. Eleni Vasquez had come to babysit her niece Cora every Thursday for 4 months. She was 28, a licensed veterinary technician with 6 years in a mixed animal practice. She had handled dogs with redirected aggression. She had assisted in behavioral assessments. She had written clinical notes on resource guarding incidents. She knew, with professional certainty, what she was looking at. Resource guarding of the child. The Bulldog had bonded with Cora as a resource and was exhibiting guardian aggression against external adults approaching the child. It was textbook. She had seen it twice. She called her sister, Cora's mother Daphne, from the front hallway the 3rd Thursday in a row. She described it calmly. Behavioral. The dog perceives Cora as his resource. He's blocking access. I'm seeing guarding posture each time I go to pick her up. Daphne said, "What does Theo do when you back away?" Eleni thought about it. He moves with me. He repositions to stay between us. Daphne was quiet for a moment. She asked, "Is Cora upset during any of this?" No. Cora was never upset during any of this. Cora was doing what 2-year-olds do in the background of the story, wandering, offering commentary on objects at floor level, occasionally sitting down for no reason. Daphne said she'd look at it on the home security camera. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Daphne called back 12 minutes later. Her voice had a quality Eleni hadn't heard before. "Can you look at something for me?" She sent the footage. Eleni watched it on her phone in the front hallway, while Theo sat in the living room doorway, equidistant between her and Cora, watching her. The footage was from the Wednesday before. Daphne and Cora at home. Daphne coming and going from the kitchen. And Theo circling, not Eleni, circling Cora, pressing his nose to Cora's neck, to her ear, to the side of her face, and moving with her as she toddled through the living room, not guarding against Daphne, guarding with Daphne, keeping pace with the child, keeping his nose at her face level. "He's been doing this for 3 weeks, Daphne said on the phone. "I thought he was just following her because he was bonded. I didn't know it was different." There is a difference in dog behavior between a dog that follows a person because of attachment and a dog that stays in nose-to-face proximity because it is tracking something. The footage showed the second kind. Eleni watched it twice and felt her professional certainty shift under her. She called a veterinary behaviorist she trusted, Dr. Freya Lindemann, board certified, 11 years. She described the footage. She described the nose-to-face proximity, the sustained following, the 3 weeks. Freya said, "Take the child to the pediatrician today." Cora's blood glucose was 39 milligrams per deciliter at the clinic. Has your dog ever done something that made no sense? Until it was the only thing that made sense. Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Dr. Suki Yamamoto, pediatric endocrinologist, explained the glucose dysregulation with a whiteboard and calm professional patience. Cora had a metabolic abnormality they had not known to look for. The drop was episodic. It produced a breath chemistry change that a dog running continuous close proximity olfactory monitoring would detect before any external symptom. Theo had been monitoring. What Eleni had seen as guarding against her, the positioning between them, the widening stance, the physical obstacle, was Theo keeping her, the external adult who didn't understand what he was tracking, from disrupting his monitoring position. He wasn't guarding Cora from Eleni. He was keeping Eleni from interfering with the job. Dr. Lindemann said, when Eleni called her back, guardian behavior and protective detection look identical from the outside. The difference is what the dog is oriented toward. If the dog orients toward the child's face and not toward the approaching adult, it's detection, not guarding. Watch where the nose goes. Eleni thought about the nose in the footage, Cora's neck, Cora's ear, Cora's face. Not once toward Eleni's hand, not once toward the door. The child's breath, over and over, for 3 weeks. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Cora is doing well now. She has a monitoring plan and a diagnosis and a treatment protocol and a 48-pound bulldog who follows her through the living room with his nose at her face level. With the calm dedication of someone who has been doing a job for a long time and plans to keep doing it. Eleni still works in the clinic. She handles behavioral assessments. She still knows what resource guarding looks like. She also knows, now, what it doesn't look like. The difference is where the nose goes. Next video, a dog who started sleeping at the top of the stairs every night for 2 weeks. What was at the bottom of those stairs was the reason the whole family left the house.